list is a very important, one second. Linked list is a very important data structure from perspectives of interview and written, etc. Because in interview you will be definitely asked some linked list question no matter what the company. So it's better to prepare all the problems. But one advantage is there are only limited number of problems in linked list. So if you do all of them, so it will be very little space for some new question. Okay. All right. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Let everybody join in, then we will start. So let's first understand the theory why we went to linked list. So it's almost a data structure. We started from array. As we all know, it was a contiguous memory location. Every element was adjacent to one another. And another problem was we have to decide the size of an array before defining it only, because we cannot change it ever again. But in reality, many situations happen where you have to change the size. Let's say you started with 10, you might need 20, 30 or 40. So you need dynamic sizing and not static sizing. So with the linked list, this problem was solved. So that was the reason we, not we, computer science scientists, whoever invented linked list, they invented linked list because of dynamic sizing. Now we are going to understand how we achieve this dynamic sizing in linked list. So in a linked list, there is two components in every node. Every element is part of has two components in it. One is data. It can be int, it can be string, it can be any object or anything. Okay. Along with it, it's a next, which points to the next block, next element in the linked list. Okay. It's a very simple thing. How they are stored at memory location, they can be stored at random location. Let's say this is stored at 1000 location, this can be stored at 1030 location, this can be stored at 4000 location, and they will be connected with address. So if I tell you what all is, let me open the Jamboard. So this is one block of a linked list. It has two components. One is data. It can be any value, it can be a string, it can be an object, or it can be anything else. You can also have multiple data components in one linked list. It's not a problem. The working of it will be slightly complicated. Okay. This is the next pointer. It contains the address of the next block. Okay. In memory, these blocks are kept at random places. Let's say this block is at 1000 memory. This block can be at 1050, and next block can be at any other position. So because of this dynamic sizing, dynamic linkage of blocks, you can create as many linked list element as much you want. So there is no limit. There is no static thing that you have to do, that you cannot have more than that. Okay. So it's a very simple data structure. Let's see more into it. So why I have discussed. What are the advantages? Dynamic size, ease of insertion and destruction. Let's say in an array. This is an array with us with few elements. It got distorted in between slightly. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let's say I want to add any element at this position. So what I have to do, I have to shift all the values to the right. This will go 4, this will go 3, this will go 2, and this will go 0. In very large array, this is a very expensive operation, but let's say I want to add in a linked list. What I'll do, I will just simply assign the next pointer this to this new node. So we can add as many nodes as possible and no need to shifting of any other block. So this basic concept of linked list is clear to everyone. Then we'll go more into it. If you have any initial queries about linked list, you can ask. Okay, so let's look at some drawbacks. Random access is not allowed. You cannot access third node, fourth node like you can do in an array. You have to start from the head or from the tail or any other point you are given in the linked list. So random access is not allowed. You have to keep an extra memory for a pointer which is required for each element. So this will also cost some additional memory, this pointer part, which is not necessary in array. Not cache friendly, this is not needed. Okay. So this is the pictorial representation. It's working, its behavior. We'll go deep as we do more problems. Let's look at the code representation. How do we represent a linked list in the code? Let's look at Java. So you define a class node. We are going to use STL, but you should know the basics of it. Class node, this is the part of OOPS, and you define some public variables called int data. So you can change it to object or string, anything you want. Then a pointer of the same class, node star is of node, and next. You can call it anything you want, next pointer, next value. So name doesn't matter, lots of students get confused. So class node, you can name it something else as well, and everything else. In Java, you define a separate class linked list and you define inner class in it, class node. You can also define it separately if you want. Int data, node next, and you call a constructor as well in order to initialize, okay, the value int d. It will initialize data to d and next to null. By default, objects are initialized to null. In Python, you can define a class node init, which is the constructor in Python. You can take self data. This is Python and not Python 3, so don't get confused. Self.data is data, self.next is none. So if you know Python, you can understand it pretty easily. Okay. So let's create our first linked list. Okay. So first C in C++, then Java and Python, same notation that I have told you earlier. So I defined 3 node, head, second, third, all 3 initialized to null. Then you create an object for them, new each. Then you initialize first node to 1 and this next of head to second. This is what we want to do. Data of second to 2. Next of second to third. So it's a very simple thing. If you have any query, you can let me know anytime. Data of third at 3, and also the next of last node will always be point to null. Let's say this is the last node, so it will always point to null. So this is the check we will employ to find the length or end of our linked list. So very simple code. Similarly, we'll do in Java. Same constructor we created, class, we create a linked list object and we assign the head of it to be new node 1, second to be node 3, third node 3, sorry 2 and 3, then you assign the head next, second next, etc. So I think it's clear, it's nothing to explain here. Similarly in Python, we create linked list object and head is assigned to node 1, second, third. Okay. So clear to everyone what is linked list, how it is defined, how do we create a linked list? Okay, good. So let's see how we are going to traverse a linked list. Let's say this is a linked list with us and we have to traverse it. Do anyone want to try the code? It's very simple. I think most of you must be knowing. But anyone wants to try the code, how you traverse a linked list? simple while loop. So head points to here. So what we are going to do, we are going to traverse each node from left to right, starting from head. The condition we are going to use is the next of a node is null. If the next of a node is null, which means it is the last node, that is this one, and we are going to print each one of them. So this is the node we have created previously. We called a print list method. So simple logic, while n is not equal to null, n क्या है यहाँ पे node है, n is node here. You keep printing it and you swipe next to the switch next to the n dot next. ठीक है, very simple 2-line code. Similarly in Java, while n is not equal to null, print data and increment n to the next. Similarly in Python, head data next. So this is the theory you need to know. Now we move on to the problems we are going to do. Okay, is it okay to everyone, or do you want me to talk about theory more? So I've added around 15-20 questions of linked list in this list. I don't think any question is left beyond it in linked list. So we are going to spend 2 days in linked list. So the first basic question we are going to do, how to find a middle, and second is how to add two numbers. So add two numbers is a very important question. It can be asked to you in any interview you might go. It was asked myself to me in an Amazon interview like 6 years ago. The long time back they asked me this question. So this is very common question. Middle is like beginner level. I hope many of you must have done it. So let's start with the solving part and not the solution first. So try, we will discuss the problem. It's a very simple problem, very simple logic we are going to use. So we are given a non-empty singly linked list with head node head, and we have to return the middle of the linked list. Okay, so we are given like 1 2 3 4 5. What will be the middle? Middle will be 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6. What will be the middle? 4 will be the middle. Okay, so there will be two middles, 3 and 4. We will always return the second one. Node will be, list will be given from 1 to 100, not more than that. So one approach is you traverse the whole node, count number of nodes, and then you traverse again to the middle node. So it will take two traversals. What we use here is a slow and fast pointer. I hope lot of students must be knowing that approach. So you can go and attempt this question, and we will wait for few minutes and then we will discuss the solution. I am giving you the most simplest problem you can do in linked list as a beginner. Next problem will be slightly difficult, that will be more interesting. Okay, and after that, so it also has lot of submissions here. And next we will discuss merge sort list is very important. We will take insertion sort list. Both of them are very important. You can also do loop on your own. It's very simple once you do find how middle, and loop is just a simple extension to that. Intersection of two is very important. Merge to shortlisted is very important. Reorder is also very important. Pairs and DLL will do later. Okay, so who all is trying is the middle point, finding the middle point? Let me know in the chat. Good Diksha, good Amisha. Good Raj. Good Yash. Good, Aman. It's a very simple, guys. I hope you all are able to do. What about rest of the student? You also doing this problem? Good, Harshita. Okay, good, Mayank.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Good, good, good. Okay, you can share your approach.
Go पूरी लिंक इसको और
Okay, you have taken an additional data structure, but that is not right, na? Don't take additional list. Anyone else like to share their approach in the chat? Okay, this is nice. Slow and fast. Okay, so let's discuss the approach. One, I told you that you can traverse the whole loop, don't take additional space. Okay, other is to fast, slow and fast pointer. Let me create one linked list and then I'll show you what do I mean by that. Let's say this is a linked list. Let me create it fast. Okay, so this is a linked list 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what we'll do, we will make two pointers, start from here. One is called slow and one is called fast. So what we are going to do, we will increment the slow pointer by one step, like it will go to 2, it will go to 3, okay, but we increment the fast by 2 steps. So fast will go to 3 directly and then go to 5. So by the time fast reaches the last node, the slow will reach the middle. So this is the simple logic that we are going to use. 2 pointers, slow and fast. Slow is something that is only incremented by 1 node. Fast is incremented by 2 nodes. So it's quite simple. By the time fast reaches the last node, slow node will be reaching the middle point. So let's look at the very simple code of this problem. Yeah, so you have initialized 2 nodes, slow initialized to head, fast initialized to head. You have checked the condition while fast is not equal to null, and then fast dot next is also not equal to null. You increment slow by 1, you increment by fast next and next. So the next of fast. So 2 steps are skipped, and in the end you return the slow node, because in this you have to return a node and not the value. Let's look at Java. Similarly, you initialize slow and fast while fast is not equal to null and fast dot next is not equal to null. Slow next, fast next, and return slow. Python, slow is initialized to fast, slow and fast are initialized to head, while fast and fast dot next, slow is 1 step, fast is 2 step, and you return the slow. Okay, any query to anyone in this? Done, everyone? Good. So let's look at the second problem. This is slightly trickier one. So let's say we are given 2 linked lists representing a number. So most significant bit is the head and the least significant bit is the tail of the linked list. Okay, most significant मतलब जो hundreds और thousands position पे होती है, जो ones पे होती है वो least significant होती है. क्योंकि ये question this question can be asked in 2 ways, because list can also start reverse, like it will be 3 4 2 instead of 2 4 3. So you have to add 2 4 3 with 5 6 4. So how you usually add? We start from the end. 3 or 4 7 10. No, 1 second. 5 6 4 4 6 5 3. Okay, sorry, I got confused. मैं यही डिस्कशन हो रहा था कि मोस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट बिट इसमें लास्ट में ही है. दिस इज द मोस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट बिट because they are given in a reverse order. You are given 2 non-empty linked lists representing 2 non-negative integer. The digits are stored in reverse order, like 243 is not the actual number, 343 is the actual number. Let me explain. Let's say there is a number 372. So it is given to you in the form 2 7 and 3. So you have another number, let's say 271 given to you. It is given in the form 1 first, then 7 and then 2. So you have to add these two numbers and return a similar linked list, okay, in the same format. So this is a very easy question. You have to just keep moving forward, take the carry to the right, but it can be asked in a revert form always, because that will be the way you will be asked. You will find the same number, same problem in LeetCode itself with a reverse order. Do attempt that as well. Some conditions, some example we can see. 2 4 3, sum is how much? 4 plus 3 7, 6 10 1, so 8 will happen, and 5 or 2 7, so 807 will be the answer here. 0 0 99999, all these conditions, take care. Number of nodes will be in the range of 1 to 100, and it is guaranteed that there are only numbers and there will be no 0 in it, else you would have to take the check for 0 as well, but there will be no 0 in it as mentioned in the condition. I hope question is clear to everyone. Is it unclear to anyone? So please try, give it a try, and then we'll discuss the solution if you are not able to solve. So who all is trying the question, let me know in the comments. Good everyone, keep trying. This is how you will succeed in life in DSA. Trying the correct way is half the battle won. I will post it. So what approach you are using? Anybody like to explain in the comments? Just approach, not the code. How will you handle different conditions? Done anyone? What approach you are using? Let me know. एनीवन? यार बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन है, दिस इज़ अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. कहाँ गायब हो गए बच्चे? चले गए क्या क्लास छोड़ के? कमेंट समथिंग. कौन कर रहा है अटेम्प्ट? Do you want me to discuss the solution or you want time to try? Okay, so let 3 minutes more, then I'll explain. Okay, so let's see with an example how we are going to approach this problem. Let's say these are two numbers 3 to 7 representing like this 7 2 3. Okay, another number 4 2 1 represented as 1 2 and 4. You take two pointers starting from here L and M, so you can call it anything you want. So what you do, you make another node N which will keep your resultant. So you take this node and add them and add it into the end node. Apart from that, you also start with a carry C represent initially to 0. As you add 7 and 1, it's 8, so there is no carry. You move on to the next. Here also carry is 0. 2 plus 2 is 4, so no carry. Another case and you go 7. So this is the simple case. This is the simplest case you are going to use. Now we will work with where we are having a carry. So this is clear to everyone how we are traversing, taking one node from one side, another node from second side and adding to them in the third list. Let me take another example. Let's see a carry in this 5 2 1 and 6 7 6 ले लेते हैं 6 and 3. Okay, so how it will be represented? 1 let's say 1 2 5 3 2 6. Okay, this is the number 5 2 1 6 2 L M. Okay, and the resultant list, and you take a value for carry initialized to 0. You add 5 or 6, it becomes 11. Okay, so what you do, you percentile it with 10. So you have to percentile, take the remainder. Remainder will be 1 and carry will be 1. You take carry here as 1. Okay, it will be 4 and 5 and the last will be 4. So 451 will be the answer. Got it? ठीक है, let's take another example, one more situation where digits are lesser. Let's say there is one situation, we have number 99 and we have a number as 1. So how it will be represented? So 99 L 1 S M. So पहला केस हमने देख लिया है. 9 plus 1 will be 10. You percentile by 10, it will 0. You take carry 1 here. So this is the new condition where you have like 0 and one more carry again. So you have to add an additional load in the end if there is some carry remaining. So this will consider all your cases and none of your case will be left. Okay, approach is clear to everyone. So the reverse question will be quite difficult where you have the number are represented in the right order, because तब क्या होता, if it was 99 and 1, So it was represented from the right. So what will happen? You had 99 represented as here and 1 as here. So this is the one with this one. अगर आप इसमें ऐड कर दोगे तो आपका आंसर आएगा 10 9. ओके, तो वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट केस होता है. दिस वन इज़ अ ईजियर वन. तो मैं तो आपको रिकमेंड करूँगा कि आप वो वाला भी ज़रूर ट्राई करें. ठीक है. ओके, सो लेट्स लुक एट द कोड. आई डोंट हैव कोड इन ऑल द लैंग्वेजेस. मैंने पहले जो कोड था वो दूसरे क्वेश्चन का था, मैंने रियलाइज़ किया. तो बट लॉजिक सिमिलर रहेगा. एक बार कोड देख लेते हैं, आप उसे अपनी लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट कर लेना. ओके, सो यू क्रिएट अ डमी नोड टू क्रिएट द रिजल्टेंट नोड एंड you take 2p. Okay, L1 and L2 are the nodes which are given to you. You carry them in Q and P. Okay, apart from that you take another node current which will point to the dummy node that you have added, because you have to keep adding additional node to it. So you initialize the carry to 0. You check a while condition while P is not equal to null, Q is not equal to null, because you have to consider the condition where the number of digits in each list are different. Okay, so you check if P is equal to null or not. If it is null, then you add 0. If it is not null, you add the value at this location. Null means this node does not exist. Okay, for Y, if Q is not equal to null, you add the value will be given to Y. This is ternary operator. I hope you know how it works, else it becomes 0. Sum will be equal to the sum of X and Y with carry. Okay, new carry will become sum modulus 10. So if 17 is the number, you divided by 10, modulus will always come 1. So carry will be mostly 1. I don't think more than 18 से ज़्यादा तो कोई सम बनेगा नहीं. ठीक है, 18 + 1 कैरी. 19 से बड़ा तो कभी होगा नहीं, तो कैरी हमेशा 1 ही होगा. ठीक है. You create a new node to be added into the current head and you initialize it with the value of sum modulus 10. The remainder of it, current is moved on to the next, and P and Q are moved on to the next node by checking whether next is null or not. Okay, so additional condition, like I told, if some carry is left after traversing all the nodes, you will add one more node into the end with the value carry, that is 1. So very simple code. You can easily change it into C++ and Python, because there is nothing, any inbuilt function or anything else used in it. So is it clear to everyone? So the next true problem you have to do will be merge sortlist and insertion sortlist. So 4 questions for this day and 4 we will do tomorrow. Okay, I will also update it into the group so that you don't forget them.